Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's about 3:15 in the morning. I just wanted to share a dream and kind of mark it, if you will. Uh, it is. It was Saturday, August the 22nd, at about roughly 7:15. I recorded it just after I woke up at like 7:19. So 7:15 would have been about the correct time. So I was laying on the couch, just drifting off, and in my dream, I was back at my house. My mom was still alive. Um, I was in my room, and I was just fiddling. Um, I can't remember what I was doing. It was nothing important. But all of a sudden, I heard the like emergency alert system go off, and my mom comes into my room. Again, she's been passed about a year, so this was like a past tense dream, but it was present or future, really. She comes into my room and she said, "A lot of people, Lord has called a lot of people home." And I'm like, what happened? So I walked into the living room where we had our big TV, and and there was no news broadcast or anything like that. There was no coverage or anything like that. I just looked at the TV, and there was like a picture of the map, and the cities was off. It was a little bit different. I remember I remember calling it. I remember that it was like Pampas, Texas, Pampas, Texas. But here's the but. Um, I actually looked up Pampas, Texas earlier that day and put it in a post. So I think that might have been uh, an insertion, if you will. But it looked like I remember thinking that it looked. I remember it looked like it was down in Texas, but in my mind, or knew it was like Kansas City. It was like the center of the country, and there was a whole bunch of big dots all around the whole area, and what it was an earthquake. Um, it was a 7.7 earthquake in the middle of the country. Um, whether it be in Texas, whether it be in Kansas City, it's still 7.7. In my dream, um, um, I remember Mama was dismayed and worried and everything, and I said, "Well, Mama, that's it. I knew it before I ever even like heard it or anything like that over the TV." I'm like, "Well, Mama, a lot of people die in an earthquake that strong, like 7.7." I actually said 7.7 without hearing it or seeing it on the TV or anything like that. Um, I mean, it came out of my mouth like I already knew it. Um, and even though by looking at it, I would have known that it was like an earthquake, but I would not know the strength of it. At least on the internet, on the website, you got you can move over and like look at put your mouse over it and look at the it'll show you the magnitude of it. So I remember in our old house, there was we had each had a recliner, kind of like facing one another, and she was really worried. She was wanting to turn the TV or to see what was going on, and she thought that I had the remote, and I'm like, Mama, I don't have the remote, and I remember that I even turned over my recliner just to show her that I didn't have the remote. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. But 7.7 earthquake in the middle of in the middle of either the middle of the country or in North Texas. Um, Again, and for my dream, it had been past tense because Mama was still alive and we had the house still, and but it was like a future. I mean, it had to been a future event because it never happened that way, and but it also seemed like like present. I mean, I was like living it as it happened. So um, 7 is God's number. Um, I don't know if it means a literal earthquake or if he's just going to be a shaking coming. Um, I've never really shared any kind of dreams like this. Well, I think I may have one or two, but I just felt the need to really share this with you guys. So that's what it is. 7.7 earthquake, either in like the middle of the country or up in Texas, northern Texas, and a lot of people died in it. At least that's what my mom said, who's already passed. Um, so y'all pray and be prepared because he's coming back soon, and before he comes back, it's gonna get bad, y'all. I'm not a doomsayer or anything like that, but he's gonna refine the church, and the only thing that can refine the church is suffering. We don't rise up. We don't put down our phones. We don't pick up our Bibles and start reading or whatever until we get into trouble. And I think most of you know that. If you're anything like me, yeah, you might be super Christian out there, but I'm just a regular old feller. And I just, I'm distracted by the things of the world, and I don't generally, I don't generally pay enough attention. I mean, I do when I'm ministering, but I don't get in a urgency. But I've never, I haven't had many dreams like that. So y'all be praying, be careful. Understand that there are some very uncomfortable times coming. He's coming soon, but he's coming for a spotless church, a spotless bride. And the only way that we can be white is if we're washed in the blood of the Lamb. And it's like, that suffering draws us closer. And I'm afraid we're going to have to do a little suffering before he comes back. So hold tight to his robe. Press in. We're going to have to take care of one another. I love y'all. God bless you. Pray for you. Pray for me. May God bless you all. If you don't know the Lord, it's time to get on your knees. Ask Him to reveal Himself. Ask Him to reveal Himself. And He will, if you're earnest. He's somebody that you really want to know. I love you guys.